joining me, and perhaps people still, bookmakers included, not giving NiP the credit they deserve. Cloud9, understandably a favorite. I wouldn't dispute that either, but I'm seeing the odds, I'm seeing the conversation on the desk. It does seem that even though a 16-4 thrashing against Vitality wasn't enough to turn heads, people are happy just to sweep that away and say, yeah, okay, do it again.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the things, right? Obviously, NiP has been chopping and changing roster quite consistently over the last year or so. But we seem to, from event to event, sleep on NiP, and normally I'm the one sleeping on Cloud9. So it is strange that NiP aren't getting much shine, but let's see if they can change that tune. I guess it's on the CT side here as Rez jumps across, the P2K in hand. The repick off the flash comes on through, and there's four in front of them here, but they can't land the kills.
It's fine. With the flashes and an even exchange, we find ourselves in a 4v4. And Rez is going to change that even more. What was that? Enters the flick. And it just spirals. Jeez, I don't even think I saw him turn around. It looked like he bent the bullet. That was Rez's frag all day long, but nope. Chuck Tester.
Wow. Okay, well, yeah, that kind of steals the show in the pistol round right there, doesn't it? And, well, the round goes in favor of Cloud9 here as well. A bit pacier out of Cloud9. That's what I like to see. And EsseTag trying to hold on to all these goodies. Might have to use a couple just to stay alive. There's $300 gone.
1 HP. He's a dead man.
Yeah, definitely so. He has $900. Oh.
He doesn't want them to have it, at least.
Yeah, I was going to say $900 of a booty left on over right there, but not to be the case. And Groove, the coach behind, just given the eyebrows. I think quite surprised with how that one went on down too. So snatching away a lot right there, denying NiP carrying anything through to the next round of play. I just want to bring up the point that Jacob was talking about there regarding EsseTag. Now, we know that EsseTag had a fantastic performance on debut at the Major. This is the first time EsseTag, as crazy as it sounds, has been at a Major.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I know, right? Let that one sink on in.
This is his first Major?
Yeah. And his performance over there with the AWP on Overpass was great, but this is not an AWPer's paradise by any means. Right, Inferno is a lot more difficult to wield the AWP to the same success.
Yeah, it depends on the AWPer.
The thing is as well that I think is a positive is that he doesn't necessarily need to use the AWP on a map like Inferno for them to have a strong CT side. Now they have 4 Spore in, bunch of smokes left on over. They're still holding on to all 5 here with a minute and 20 left on the clock, and Hampus wants to block long. Yeah, this is good.
Like that just going to force them to either wait it out or find a new path. And Anthony's going to punish. Oh, well tracked. Hampus not going to give up the ghost just yet. Oh. What a shot. Oh, 2 out of the 5-7 of Rez. They are making a round out of this force buy. Hampus starts it. Rez has made it very competitive. Hampus lives on. Has the Mac 10 to be tested. Locked on Moto. Smoke should cover his tracks, but does go down all the same. Shiro has yet to get the bomb down. It is on his back as it stands. Inters to provide the overwatch and support. You can see Plopsky's actually going to try and nullify the threat. There will be angles over the top of that smoke if he wants to find it. And Brolin's still the unknown entity. He's actually crawling quad side.
Sure has another smoke here to drop as well, and as the time ticks on down, they will have to plant, but as soon as they punch in the digits, they remove a player, and it becomes a 1-on-2 for Inters from pit here to bodyguard.
20 seconds, paranoia spreads. You still have that smoke, Shiro. And his pit adjusts immediately. There's a second leaping with a bit of a Hail Mary, hoping to catch a something in the air. Cloud9 deal with it.
And speaking of a something, there's a bit of a different glimmer in the eyes of Cloud9 in these first 2 rounds.
How so?
Well, we've been seeing them enter the site here with more than a minute on the clock, right?
Sure.
No, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way.
No.
I mean that in actually quite a positive way, because the individuals on this team are highly skilled, right? Highly skilled. Axel, Shiro, Hobbit, right? One of the things with this team is they do it by the book, but individually they're sound. And if they understand that, if they understand that the players in the server that they're going toe-to-toe with, they can just bat aside if they want to take these fights like this. Take a bit more action early. It adds another layer to Cloud9. It adds a whole nother layer to this team that needs to be feared. And the pace early, the fights early, the clear understanding of where they want to go with these duels and what areas of the map they want to take. They're already walking in towards B. They've lost Hobbit and potentially an AK. Right now being covered on off by Inter's position here. And he's going to take down Plopsky. I think Shiro wants to get himself the upgrade, and he will do exactly that. Brolin seeing if he can be pesky and annoyances here, and that's about all he's doing. Will need the backup of his team. Rez has come on over as well, and now Inters is going to hightail him. He's just wasting more time for his teammates to get in towards B and get that bomb on down. Unlikely to see them give away this round now that the digits are punched on in.
So it's 1 AK. Was there anything else? Okay, Mac 10.
Yeah, and realistically speaking, the best you might want to do with this if you're Brolin is look for damage. Right? You don't really want to use that in the first gun round of play, but a couple of kills denying a couple of AK-47s carried on through with a $600 kill reward. That sounds a whole lot juicier.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see that they are looking to maybe close in on banana exits, and Rez was towards Arch if he wanted to kind of rule out CT. But actually, Shiro is going to throw a nade down and maybe even throw himself out of the round. Oh, wow. Crosshair, even though he was flashed, he takes them both down. Just the rifle on Esatag. Maintains that. Shiro gets out. Safe and sound. 6-0 for him. 5 already in the feed from Inters. So individuals up and 3-0 start. Cloud9, T-side, Dreamy.
Yeah, as all the best ones have been going on today, we have both screens up in the green room, and as I'm watching the games, I've taken cliff notes on a couple of the highlights. And in the Cloud9 versus Outsiders game, a 16-12 victory for Cloud9 on Mirage. Shiro had a lot of impact on the lower buy or eco rounds. On the T side, 4 kills with the P250 on an eco. On the CT side, he went for a hero M4 and found 4 frags with that M4 to secure a round with the rest of his teammates with full eco. Right now, he wasn't even the highest fragger in the server. I think Axel and Inters were finding more traction, but here's some pace again, flashing forward.
Perfect, and yeah, Esatag's first AWP round. He had 21 of his 23 frags in a dominant first half on the defense with his AWP. This is Inferno. This is a different kettle of fish, and he's been run down. Nice try from Hampus. Caged immediately, and so are NiP. Cloud9 looking very swift in this T side. This was, look at the time before that bomb went down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think as I saw kills come in, there was a lot of utility on the belt buckle of these NiP players, because you're expecting to try and hold on to your smokes until the last 30 to 45 seconds to slow Cloud9 down. The fact that they're conditioning you this early with this type of play means that NiP are going to have to use that utility early. And this is now where Cloud9 can go back to their bread and butter and play their standard, more slow, methodical style of Counter-Strike if they like. Because right now they're bullying NiP early here. 4-0 lead, 1 rifle saved, but that's about it.
Yeah, they haven't really got to play the game. You know, this is the first weapon round, and already they were just hitting panic buttons and getting run down. Rez with 1, Hampus another, but yeah, just frags are low for the Ninjas as it stands. Brolin yet to put his name in the feed in a positive light, and that, talking of positive light, that is impressive. I was looking, it looked like it was like a 9-1 or something. It was very dominant from G2 initially, but seems starting that second half strong, and the 10-5 now goes 10-7.
Yeah, not a bad little bit of play right there.
Not a bad
Imperial
all.
keeping it close against a team like G2. So good stuff from the Brazilian side. Back in with a half purchase around. Oh, just saved AK-47. The shot of Hampus whistles by, but does not get a second chance. Shiro's AWP is out.
That was a little too much. Hampus, a double repeat on that scout. The first they'll allow, the second Shiro will be quick to punish. And Chad, we do have to take note of the speed by which this round is going down already. They've got full top banana control. You've already dinged Plopsky down to 6.
You know what's quite funny here is Shiro, he is wielding Esatag's AWP, which has a Cloud9 sticker on it from the days that Esatag was there. So we've come full circle.
Yep, appropriate.
As we come on over for a bit of a gamble B stack right here from the Swedes.
Smoke.
Ow, that's the thing as well, right? Calling out the smoke when you go for a gamble stack, you have a choice. Do we want to let them come on in and use our numbers here, or do we want to smoke and block them to deny? Well, they did both. I think either way, this round is going to fall away from them here. Hobbit's forward position up in Boiler as well. He can hear if there's any steps over towards the short side, or if there's any noise as far as rotations go. He might call the team back over late here. They're starting to posture and set on up. If they continue forward with the bomb, could be a few problems here for Cloud9. Another smoke to deny at the 30-second mark. They can still drop on back. If Hobbit wants to have a look now, there's still time.
Yeah, they are. And the round loses its potency now.
Yeah, okay. Well, hold on to these goodies. It's mainly the armor, right, that you want to hold on to if you're NiP to just get the buy into the next a little bit better around the edges. with the util and all the goodies. 9, 8, 7, and the digits are getting punched on in. Bomb goes down, and now 40 seconds remain as we see Cloud9 go up to a 5-0 lead on the T side of Inferno. Now, one of the biggest critiques of Cloud9, I would say, is that there's no question mark in the way that they approach the game. It's by the book, right? It's good Counter-Strike to watch, right? If you're a coach or an in-game leader or someone who just likes fine, ABC Counter-Strike, you definitely like the way that Cloud9 approach the game. But one of the question marks is they lack players to throw haymakers, right? It would always be Hobbit that would bail them out of a situation. You know that Shiro's good in a clutch, but they're the clutches where, his team have done a lot of work and he's in a 1-on-2 and he's in a really good position to close them on out, right? But they have really strong individuals. And if they start acting like really strong individuals, and then on, let's say, they make it to the big stage and Shiro does a massive clutch or Axel does a massive move, this is where these names who, for whatever reason, haven't caught on as fan favorites will become exactly that. Because they've got some personality about them here in the server. Nafany has it outside. The rest of them do it in the server. And this should be a team that people want to see do well because they've done the hard graft. Yeah. They came in a team that wasn't a partner team and became one of the best squads in the world through hard work and determination.
Yeah, and it only, needs its climax. They haven't even reached the peak of their story yet. Joining Cloud9, representing already a major champion organization.
That's a fun story that people at home are having a bit of a joke with. FaZe would make it to the final and then end up losing to Cloud9.
Imagine the 15-11 up.
Yeah, if that does happen, those of you out there, I think you've willed this into existence with your jokes, but that would be quite the story. And now back to regular programming here. A little bit of an aggressive maneuver top banana from Shiro to apply the pressure and try and milk through this NiP utility. But the default spread now working on this top mid control. Center to hold them at bay, but they will pop and go and apply pressure.
Yes, attack, another test on the orb. Great find from Hampus, just reading Nafany's hug on the brackets. Reloads in the open. That could be a sign for Hobbit to nutmeg just upon the fade. Dunks Hampus back to the grave. Long is his. Util towards the A site. Archer's smoked. A CT smoke will stop Hobbit from getting too much early.
Helps him out here a lot.
Yeah, he can actually crawl and take space. Confirms library clear. Flash does nothing. They're closing in. Rez, something from the pit. Needs another. Worming through. Actually, yes, attack good onto that Hobbit. Long side find. It's Inter's dinked. Can't find the shot either from Shiro. It's not really like on time. 5, 4.
Oh, no time.
That is the worst. He might go down after time. There's 2 of them chasing. And they'll let him have it. Yeah. He has 9K, to be fair. Really not going to make too much of an impact. But there you go. I mean, there's the first round for NiP, and it's off of a Hampus opener.
Yeah, that right there was really good from Rez over towards Pit, just getting that kill and buying as much time as he could. S-Attack even found one in a difficult position. They were coming up short and wrapping that long side right there. So well done on the A defense from NiP. Fun to note, they've got Brolin and Plopsky over towards B, former teammates once upon a time. Knocking down that B bomb site together here as we do get back underway into round number 7.
Yeah. When you look at the NiP roster now, it is just all of the young Swedes that have been on the hard graft under one roof now. And a Dane.
Oh, this is interesting. They've already got 2 into boiler control here, so this might actually be a little bit more direct. The boost up and over.
Turns it. Plucks Hobbit on the leap out. Big shutdown from the Ninjas. Nothing left but corpses. 2 posted up on short. Shiro and Axel trying to take space back away. Another miss. This time Shiro just tries to hit the quick flick.
Very difficult round to get back into here.
The bomb is step 1, and that's been done without any bloodshed.
Or it should be done. Axel, you didn't. Wait, you didn't pick it up there, mate. Axel, you didn't get the bomb.
No. Okay, he's going to realize soon.
Or are they saving? Maybe they're saving. But Shiro's position already over towards the door. Sure. I know what you're saying. Maybe if they had the bomb, they might reconsider. But the fact that he left the bomb.
No, I know, but I'm just thinking like, it's almost them not having the bomb and seeing the bomb still in boiler almost makes it more clear that
it's a save. Yeah.
If the bomb disappears, everyone's like, okay,
where are they
heals in, I'm
going?
going to get info.
Well, it's the perfect play from NiP after the opening exchange. Just going to turtle on up. You can see the X's there on the radar, top left-hand side of your screen, next to the blinking bomb. All the corpses littered in the exact same spot. So you could see there was a bit more of a direct approach, but NiP have adjusted now. They were ready for more of a heads-up maneuver. They were locking down top mid, and they were doing it through elevation.
Yeah, the boost is powerful, and I guess that's the perfect call when it seems like, Cloud9, as you've identified, were playing not their own game, or not what you would expect out of the gates in the pace department. So they've adjusted, and that might put Cloud9 now into that more default approach. We might get a proper standard round of Counter-Strike here, round 8.
Well, 2 saves back-to-back from Shiro is definitely sending us in that direction here. Now, this is a timeout taken. Groove, an opportunity for him to get on the mic, and a couple of notes right there. They look like dot points.
I shouldn't be trying to read their notes. It's just funny. I saw CT, and there was one line of text. And then T, there's a whole barrage of different tips.
CT probably says M4A1S, and T is like 733 strategies to deal with the M4A1S. So,
yeah, well, I guess he's probably exhausted all of his CT strats. Go kill. They get 2 rounds, and they find them back to back. So as you've been discussing, it is going to be starting to attack the funds.
I'm curious what the change-up is here, right? Because Groove has taken the time out here to have a conversation. Brolin is yet to get a kill, so maybe they want to give the B-bomb site a little bit of love. See if they can find a weakness over there. We've seen Shiro attempt to go aggressive with a bit of a AWP aggressive maneuver up the choke point. This is a smoke thrown out early from Nafany over towards B, and he's doing that with intent. So they will deny the top of Banana with utility of their own. See Brolin playing behind that with a swift little jump just to see if anybody wants to slink on forward and is worried about this. They will set up a boost and use the smoke against them here. The nade coming on through. It's going to do a tickle of damage onto Plopsky. Brolin, he has the information, so that smoke doesn't account for a lot until the flash comes on through. So back and forth the util game goes. The info falling in favor of Cloud9 as they thrust themselves forward. They get Banana control quite concisely here. And the rotation coming on in from Hampus to at least donate some utility to this already pressured B site.
They're coming. Nafany and Axile asking questions of B. However, they can't do anything in terms of close until we do see Util arrive. Shiro is there behind them. Inters has the alternative, as does Hobbit. So you can see for now their responsibilities were just to cage any CT aggression of apps. Inters now has given up the ghost on that.
This is one of the biggest issues right now if you're a CT side on a map like Inferno. Absolutely no control across the map. No information Banana, no information top mid.
Oh, there's some information for you. An immediate smoke drop, but they wanted that. They're just going to go off it. A flash. A nice find from Plopsky, and in the smoke lies Brolin. Takes his first frag. Scalps Axile, and they are out.
Might be another save here. 20 seconds left, no way forward. The way back. I don't think there's enough time, and 3 consecutive rounds. 3 consecutive saves.
Yeah, at least they get to have another go. 3. The majority of your forces will be well equipped.
And this is the positive side of that game, because with 3 rounds lost, the loss bonus is built to a point where Axile and Nafany can buy AKs again with utility. Shiro still has enough to get a couple of pieces himself, Inters and Hobbit as well. So it's going to be a full buy. And you can see the positives of the save. Now, in terms of the excitement, it may be lacking a little bit there, but Imperial, I cannot believe it, have tied things up 11-11 against G2 on Mirage. The old boys rolling back the years and taking it to G2. Wow.
Yeah, some viewership records going to be broken, I reckon, on the Gaules stream. 11-11, that is a dream come true. Let's see how they go with that. Well, Brolin is actually going to meet Axile immediately face to face. Look at the pep in his step. He just charges forward. Brolin can't believe his luck. He's been given it. Oh, plant pot trick shot there.
Yeah, well, NiP have definitely course corrected. There's another. Inter's dead.
Wow.
That AWP, Jacob was asking how much can Tag get done with it. Well, he's found a couple of kills with it, so not faring too poorly here. But as mentioned, the AWP on the CT side of a map like Inferno, it is so difficult. Do we just get another Cloud9 save here again?
Probably. Makes more sense than the alternative. It's a regroup.
Don't do us like this, boys. Come on now.
to regroup. That's what it is. Still lots of time, but it seems like...
Are they luring you into this, Alex?
Like they are progressing up Banana, Chadney, so there is no smokes on this B defense. There's nothing to hold them at bay. Hampus
he's coming.
crawling. He doesn't want to be heard if they had their ear pressed to Speedway.
Sure is thinking, I could save this again.
Guys, I don't know if we're...
We
Okay,
really
here we
want to
go.
try this, guys.
Here they come. Counter Molly, one cross to pull. Oh, Hobbit, perfect flash from NiP, and they will have nothing. Nothing, all taken away from them by the B defenders. Brolin with 3 kills. He started that with the aggression onto Axile, and finally, I believe Cloud9 will have to swallow their pride and take an eco.
Yeah, a half buy possible here. With they've taken the lead. Imagine if they win this game.
I'm bringing it up.
It would be classic G2 fashion, wouldn't it? That would be remarkable. If Imperial win this is a massive scout for them to take. Like they won against Liquid Shore. They won against Force to get here, but beating G2, that would be massive. Anyway, shoe on the other foot on this stream right here. NiP have now been able to bolster a bank with the rounds they have won consecutively here. 4 on the trot, 3 of which have Cloud9 more than happy to concede and save. And now that half buy has come on through. Some Tech9, some Digs, P250 in the mix, and some light util. They're waiting out exactly that. Smoke towards the long side, deployed from up close and personal. Rez will be denied, and yeah, he knows he's up against the pistols here, so you can see that immediate backpedal, not wanting to get caught out of position. Hobbit had to extinguish there. He did not have any choice, and now he is really prodding. He was asking for that, as Hampus will find the opening pick, and now Cloud9, what started so well for them on Inferno is fallen flat with 5 consecutive rounds for NiP, more than likely, with just 4 more to find.
Yeah, and there's nothing more scary than Rez equipped with an AK-47 on the defense as well. So A is a no-go. Heading over to B again, and the boost is established. So Brolin so far has managed to find all of his frags upon this B site's defense. You can see that they're going for a 2-tiered new box hold, and there won't be many Molotovs to disrupt. In fact, 0 with this light buy. So here they come. Oh, good flash. Good flash, and a bit of a problem now. Brolin goes down. Plopsky did not find the frags he was supposed to, and it comes tumbling down for the Ninjas. Just pistols, now rifles, fall into enemy hands. Ooh, that's a good incendiary. Axel will have to go wide on that. Oh, he gets it again. Still threatening. It's only 2 of them now. Hampus trying his best, and it's all onto Hobbit versus Hampus. Knows where he is, has time. Can Hampus remedy the problem? He does save them. Oh, boys, you can see his face says it all.
Yeah, he'll bail them out. Well, the in-game leader will come on 3 and scoop that one up. It got a little bit worrisome there, didn't it?
I mean, think of it from Cloud9's perspective. They nearly had something absolutely ridiculous to break their silence. Yeah, timeout just to break it down and to talk about the next gun round, but that is going to be the 5th.
One of the key themes of these 5 consecutive is NiP have found the opening in all 5. Right, that doesn't change the tune too much to the previous 5. I think Rez found an opening in the opening 5, but the key in these 5 consecutive have been the opening kill every single time as DGL, the coach, they're firing them on up. I think that one, obviously a little bit sloppy, right? But, you know, there's still plenty of cash, maybe just making sure they stay focused in all the moments here. Not
many people have heard from DJL, but I was convinced by how convinced you were. You said you spoke to him once and you were like, okay, he knows.
Yeah, I think it was with Hampus while Hampus was doing an interview, and I made some off-the-cuff remark to Hampus, and then he had to shoot off and do something. So then DJ and I are standing there and we had a chat, and then as soon as we start talking, it's not like we'd ever introduced to one another. As soon as he starts talking Counter-Strike, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this guy, just from the words coming out of his mouth, seems very legit.
Yeah, and this looks legit as well. Pace seems to be the answer called upon after the timeout. Cloud9 want to throw bodies to Banana as Brolin tested and meets his maker. Nafany, 1. Plopsky alone summons Hampus for aid, and they are going for this boost. Surely it's predicted. Surely it's predicted. Not ready. Nafany is alive. He gets away. Saved by Hobbit. Nade down the throat. Plopsky swallows it for 28. Is all he's got left, and they're backing away already. So Cloud9, that is an effective timeout. If they can have a spotless T round off the back of it, dreamy.
Yeah, well, we normally talk about forced buy wars earlier where people like to spend and spend and spend. Right now, we're in the $1 shop, the bargain basement deals right now, as it's Save, save, save. We got deals all over the Inferno.
And in the UK, we call it Poundland.
Great name.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, neither team offering out too much of a pounding right now. We're quite equal.
Yeah, well, it started with one way, it's gone the other, and just now righting the ship are Cloud9. So they've traded 5 apiece.
With an opening from Nafni. So it was 5 consecutive with openings from NiP, and Nafni said, I've seen enough of that. That's one of the hyper-aggressive movers this in-game leader has become known for. Cracks open the B bomb site. Able to take down Brolin there, and, well, Hampus could not land that shot. If he did, likely to find himself in a 4-on-4, but missed the chance, missed the opportunity, and now Cloud9 will strike back.
Got 3 different Ghibli movies on that anime sleeve as Nafni. I saw Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, and the Totoro one I haven't seen.
All right, you weeb, we get it.
I just wanted to flex, okay? Those are few of the movies I've actually seen.
I never thought to stay in touch with our audience watching anime was one of the things
the
that we
core
would
principles.
have to do.
Yep.
But apparently it is here as we get back into the gun. Still plenty of cash was left over for NiP with the save. So both teams are being very reserved in the finance department here, which means we're going to have threatening rounds through down the tail end through the straight.
Esatag, you are playing with fire. This is an Aggie line to take. Bang. Oh, scary scenes. He's got dinked down to 1 HP. Careful not to crater. Does get a soft dismount. Okay, panic over. He lives on.
Well, if anyone's got good movement, it is Esatag. So graceful like a gazelle.
You can give gazelles too much credit, you know. Sometimes they do look quite clumsy. I don't know if you can really task Esatag with holding any part of this ace site. He's just such an unpredictable outcome for him. Plopsky's jumping for info, maybe going to bait for Brolan.
I don't think that
Not going to clear. Okay, gets it. Surely he's cooked. Counter incendiary. Take a fight, catch a bullet. 4-on-4 just about. Don't forget the Esatag status.
Oh.
What a shot. Plopsky from way downtown takes another scalp. It's Axile. And now they're channeled into A with 30 seconds. Rez actually choosing to aggress on this. You have the man advantage, but he's not satisfied, and it leads to his demise. They are going to catapult now into the site. Hampus will hear them through apps. A powerful angle catching them inaccurate on the balcony. He walks back in. Another contribution from Esatag despite the low HP. And Shiro with a 1v2, a very manageable 1v2.
Oh, flubbed his line on the smoke right there.
He's going to have the ninja scratching their head. What does that mean? What does that do? He's going to try and play around it.
Maybe he didn't flub his lines. This could be brilliant right here.
Is it a one-way?
Smokes a wall behind him right now. Oh,
heard it. Heard it. Esatag. Okay. Just, they close. It's Plopsky responsible for it. Just pulling a 6th out of the hat. That was an intense round of Counter-Strike there and an important recovery. But that was just a blip on the radar, really. I mean, we've seen one Cloud9 round. Everything else, a slew of blue.
Good trading here.
Look at that.
Okay. Never mind. I thought that he had just like pipped him through the corner, but actually just a spam kill from Plopsky. That was brilliant right there, and he does finish off the round as well with the final frag.
I'm going to check that G2 update. Oh.
Yeah, it's quite the game to keep glued on, isn't it?
14 just about. Cover your ears, I apologize. Oh my goodness, our own round has already kicked off full steam. Damage was done, burn they heard, and now Plopsky still, despite the rumble of information and the dunk from Hampus, they will leave with a lead. And the bomb's on half wall. He's trying to threaten with the molly. Be brave if he wanted to go through that smoke. He's going to spray in, and that costs him his life. Likely the round as well. Inters and Shiro on the wrong side of the map without the bomb. What are you gonna? What do you get out of A? You're gonna hope to catch the A lurk. No one's home.
There was an idea that would have made sense. It just meant that Axel had to survive because knowing that you can fortify the bomb top and on a half wall, it was always going to draw at least one rotation. So if Axel had been able to stay alive in that situation, he threw himself into the smoke there and got taken on down. Would have put him in a pretty good stead to allow his teammates to try and find something to work with here. But you've got another incendiary or two, some flashes available, a smoke now just dispatched. For Cloud9, it's a very rough one right now to get on into a round like this. A nice tidy nade will do a little bit of chip damage. They can throw the Molotov over towards the sandbag position and try and flush out. But again, another smoke deployed and you have 25 seconds left on the clock. has to be the save.
Yeah.
And we've said that quite frequently now as NiP have taken the lead in this one. They will be getting themselves up to a 7-6 scoreline. And that this time round was with the opening of Nafany, just unable to convert off the back of that. The next 2 consecutive kills came on over and landed in the pocket of NiP. So good stuff from the Swedes now.
Really nice kill distribution as well. We know Brolin had a slow start, but he definitely has awoken and been a contributor to some of their round wins. But everyone else, a couple of frags between them. So all of the Swedes and the Dane delivering in equal capacity, equal measure. G2 trying to right the ship over on the B stream. Shiro just going to be laying down what he can to set the scene for the last 2 of play here on their T side.
There will be enough money for Cloud9 to have a full buy round now, as you can see, and a full gun round into the next as well by virtue of the loss bonus. So the economy's actually been quite kind to them in the way that their saves have played on out. They've kept themselves very threatening, not in the same way as Ents did earlier today with 4 spies, but by management of their money. Not wanting to fight for any banana control right now, and yeah, tickled on up by the flames right there. S-Attack has to drop back. This will completely change and shift the setup that NiP were working with right there. If he didn't get tickled by the flames, they could have stayed postured forward, but they will have to choose something different now. As Flash on over, incendiary forward, 1 on the way back, and space to be taken here by NiP as they don't do it early, they do it mid-round, which is great against a team like Cloud9, who are a bit more methodical, like to wait out the protocol utility. Well, now, by doing it when the timing was about 1:20, they bought themselves full banana control with a minute on the clock. This is good stuff.
And it's a different variation. You know, it's not with the half-wall smoke. It's actually a deep banana smoke and 2 incendiaries to essentially say, fight us in the flames or give us banana back.
And they've definitely given on over here. The smoke starts to fade, and now Nafany working on some control, but time's starting to become an issue. Rez still with a full bag of utility. Hampers with almost the same, and S-Attack a smoke too. Brolin even has one to deploy over towards B. So if it is a B execute, they have both players in the site. This is exactly what you want, but Nafany wants to do this quickly. Look at this forward posturing position.
Yeah, he's going to strike at the same time as Hobbit.
Contact, contact, contact.
Brolin's still looking the wrong way. Plopsky, just on the jiggle, does manage to fall to Brolin.
Oh,
and there's a gap in the one-way. Look at that. Both of them are playing around the smoke. They can't see anything. Brolin has got it done. That is horrendous to walk around the corner into. 2 players with gaps under and over the smoke. What do you call that one?
Yeah, some next level nerd stuff right there out of this duo on the B bomb side.
1 smoke, 2 angles, bro.
That is filthy, right? Even if you account for 1, there's no way you're accounting for the other as part of that wide swing. Inters gets a freebie onto Hampus right here, but wants to make sure he doesn't go down after time. Even if he had died there before the time had expired, he would have been able to have a gun round. But now, by going down after time, he's going to be left on 2.8. Oh, hold up. Never mind. They dropped it. It's all good. It's all good. And speaking of all good, G2 fans, it's all good. G2 pick up the win over Imperial. They set themselves up in that 1-1 column alongside a crazy list of teams. An actual crazy list of teams. And Imperial, unfortunately, now find themselves in the 0-2 column, battling for survival tomorrow in the best of 3s.
Yeah, make sure you set your morning alarms, because I think the best of 1s are going to be worth a watch tomorrow. Very much so. Those 1-1 matchups.
NiP will have more than salvaged this half, by the way, Alex. If they walk away with 9-6, Cloud9 won the first 5 rounds of the game. What a comeback this would be from the Swedes. Really well handled, and again, the frag distribution. Look how close it is.
What I find so impressive is not only, Brolin's just tied himself right up with the rest of his squad mates, but everyone's pulling their weight. And even more so, I don't know how NiP have managed to keep Cloud9 so caged while still maintaining so much of their util.
It is wild, right?
Like, they get to hold on to... Look, I mean, look, when are we seeing their nade? They've thrown 1, Chad. 1 smoke deployed. It was a molly, actually. No, they've still got all of those. There's the smoke on top.
And it's sub 1 minute.
And now they're going to try and get flashed, I assume. Oh, they really aren't. Just poking and prodding from every angle. Brolin's not going to be caught out immediately. Still has Arch. And swung through. Nice from Nafany. Catches Hampus. That's an opening kill for Cloud9. 7 would be a nice recovery. Brolin is going to meet Hobbit as well, so very nicely played. And you can see Nafany's got the CT rotate locked down. Deals with Plopsky.
B's open. They killed Plopsky and Brolin. Should they take the bomb back to B? Or is there time? 25 seconds. They're just going to kill them all.
Yeah, they're just going to take the biff. And there you have it, an 8-7 half. A little recovery on the final round of play. You can see that run from NiP. So a very competitive game for us here on the mainstream.
Yeah, and you spoke about how stoic they were with their utility. They're late into the game, right? And that's why the conversation early from me was about Cloud9 and the pace in which they were approaching. It was, I think, to condition NiP to make sure that they had to use their nades early. But whether the Storm had some more heads-up, Biffy style of Counter-Strike on the CT side where they took the duels, and then they could go back to the game plan that works against Cloud9, which is limp out that utility slow and steady, making sure that when they do want to take territory, you're greeting them with just as much of your own. Here we go. The odds still quite heavily favoring Cloud9 here. And, wow, 8-7. Quite a good half here. Julie's out in the hands of Shiro. He's been dropped them. Kit, HE for Hobbit. 2 flashes for Inters to try and facilitate. And on the T side here from NiP, it's a 2-3 spread. 3 over towards second mid. They're flashing the fight coming on through. Nafany can't connect the dots, can't find a fight, but Axel can, and he's being gooshed. Not long for this world. Esatag will find him.
How many people actually connected a bullet onto Axel there? Okay.
This is still huge from Nafany, though. The fact that he's tucked on down quite aggressively, they are noting that there is the potential for this aggression. You can tell just by the way that Hampus is trying to sniff out the T-house. So with this, it's very likely they clear this corner. I think Nafany thinks he has all the room and they don't know, but he should go down. Yeah, exactly that. Now A's open. When you have a player that forward, if they want to get a bit more pep in their step, you would normally, with a player that far ahead of the pack, be, well, saying A's clear. And that's not the case whatsoever. All 5 members from NiP bearing down now.
Yeah, and they're not going to let anything slip away. Something that like I wasn't smart enough to contribute to, a conversation in the green room.
Okay.
Maui says nothing triggers him more than seeing CT save on a CT pistol.
Okay.
But like I always thought we justified it like, oh, some Kev, get the free upgrade.
Yeah.
Could you understand where Maui would be coming from? Is it cash? Is it you can always afford to take something away from the T's? I mean, I wasn't smart enough. I just kind of smiled and nodded.
Yeah, look, I think, and I don't know if we're even going to get to see it here. I think Shiro might go on down. But one of the things with saving on the CT pistol, if it is the armor left over, it means that it's going to free you up with a few extra resources into the next round. And something which teams have been doing a little bit more of recently is once they do save the armor, then they'll have a FAMAS, right? You know, if somebody got a kill, they'll make sure there's a FAMAS in play. And that right there can be quite strong because, you know, FAMAS with Kevlar, I know it's not head armor, but it still can be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, and angle dependent. There's lots of spots you can get away with. Hobbit is going to save himself a kit and a nade. And that's an NiP pistol, so...
Okay, got something. Yeah, well, Shiro will be able to get at that FAMAS now if he would like, and he can actually drop those Julies across. So if they wanted to force, and it looks like they are, it can be quite a tidy force coming on through. And then there it is, the Shiro FAMAS. So I guess we can have that conversation that you were happening in front of our eyes right here. Shiro would only have been able to go for a buy like this if he did save that Kevlar. So they've been able to keep a pair of Julies. They have a FAMAS in play, 2 5.7s to CZ, and a couple of bits and bobs. 4 smokes in total, make it 5.
Plenty of utility, so NiP really can pull the defense around. Does seem rather...
Direct?
Yeah, direct.
Yeah.
I was going to say clear intent. NiP just off the break without any information.
Axel needs multiple kills here, this round's over.
He's got a rather flamboyant setup on the 5.7. He's going to eat a flash. Oh, no, he's not. Still doesn't get anything done, and that FAMAS does nothing. NiP set for a 10th.
We will see another Cloud9 save here. There's no way into a round like this. If you want to linger around and see if you can get maybe a gun like that, then yeah, you can justify it. But otherwise, it's going to be more of the same. Cloud9, we're playing the percentages, holding on to the armor, holding on to the upgraded pistols here, and trying again into the next round of play. NiP already know this, right? There's no threat, there's no shots, there's no sound cues of any regard. So they know that if they wanted, they could start to have a little bit of a look around here and apply some pressure, but Brolin's passive position over towards T-Stairs means that they just might want to hold on to their goodies too. And NiP have come on in here with quite a clear game plan.
I mean, Cloud9 were everyone's favorite, and NiP, in their first game against Vitality, people very quick to dismiss as
Vitality.
Vitality. Yeah, B, Apex's career low major performance in that map alone. And that Lightning wasn't going to strike twice in the form of an Esatag top frag. But so far, Cloud9 have yet to be able to dig their teeth and dig their claws into the Inferno and start running away with it. 5-0 was great. 2 on the tail end of the half made it an 8-7 half. But NiP, this is going to be their next big test. Quick tech pause. It looks like we're going to have to just quickly get a couple of players out and in.
Yeah, losing a couple of them out of the server right now. So maybe just need a quick restart, maybe just a quick chop or change and check of a setting. These things don't normally take too long. But yeah, we need to see a bit more bite, because you're right. It was really those first 5 rounds of play where Cloud9 looked extremely threatening. Now, they obviously haven't been able to get stuck on their CT side just yet when the rifles come out. But I guess the fact that they are on the CT side second here means it's not going to be able to just constantly go for the saves. They will have to be going for some of these retakes here if they are going to be giving up site control. But I do want to continue to sing the praises of NiP's game plan within that first half, how reserved they are with their utility usage and the type of fights they were kind of forcing Cloud9 into when they wanted to take that space. It looked well organized, and then that geeky little one-way smoke we saw over towards B from Brolin and Plopsky as well. So lots of praises there, even though it was an 8-7 half. Getting the players back on in now. I can see all of them in the server. We've just had the quick little round restore going on, and should be getting this one back underway any second now. Final best of 1 on the day. Tomorrow we'll be getting into 4 more best of 1s to start in the 1-1 matches. There'll be 2 on each stream, the A and the B, and then there'll be 2 best of 3s on each. 2 of them being elimination, 2 of them being progression for the first teams locked in for the playoffs.
Na'Vi are up there.
Yeah, and this will be the 4th team to join the bunch with the Flames.
Spirit, Na'Vi, and this team.
Yeah, and it sounds a bit odd when you say the first one, Spirit, and then Flames, or you're like, okay, Na'Vi, okay, that one makes sense.
If they missed it as well, Chad, I mean, like, to summarize that heroic game, it was actually just Team Spirit
playing some good Counter-Strike.
Playing good Counter-Strike. I don't think any alarm bells should be ringing for heroic fans, more so than perhaps it's going to shake the mental, but just, yeah, Team Spirit playing a very good game, and Patsy just being another one. I can't believe we, just when I thought we'd had enough young guns showing up and kicking up a fuss, we've got another one to watch out for. First major for him, and his stats are off the charts. Just a 2 rounds, or rather 2 kill spread from the individuals of NiP. It's very much a team effort here as they do take on Cloud9's lighter buy.
Yeah, yet to get Axel activated here within this map. Now, he was a force to be reckoned with during their first game against Outsiders. Shiro has been gifted the opportunity to wield. Oh, Famous again, and the combo of the 2 strike. Esatag and Plopsky down, and a 5-on-3.
That is a dream start for Cloud9 on a half buy. I mean, there are gaps, and you can see Rez is immediately trying to thrust himself through it. Axel to address it. When there's smoke, there's usually fire. More to come. Rez has slipped into the library, trying to find one. I think he may have caught a barrel of Shiro. And now confirms now. Woof, dinks him with the dualies and the dunk from Shiro. Activated on the FAMAS. 2 kills on this weapon, and there's a third on the agenda. Brolin known, tagged, and soon to be body bagged. He's got 1 out with the MAC-10. Oh, what long range! Takes down Inters, and he's not stopping there. He's still trying to get into the site. Brolin a threat now. He could be cleared. He's not ready for this.
They don't know he's out, though.
Here's them both. Sight! Oh, Brolin's doing it! This is craziness. I think he knows Hobbit's there. Oh. Jumps through. Hobbit will pull it across the line, but not without a heroic attempt from Brolan. Catapults to the top of the table, but still Cloud9 win. A half-buy investment, and those 2 frags on the break is how they find it.
Yeah, Nafany willing to give Shiro back the FAMAS to have a second crack. It was the same 2 A defenders, but this time with a more proactive approach on their A hold. Aggressive apartments so they couldn't be popped on like the previous. And Shiro now, today, in 3 rounds of lighter buys, he has had massive impact. On Mirage, he had 1 round on the T side, 1 round on the CT side, and now here on Inferno, getting it done when Cloud9 needed him.
Oh, cancels his plans there. Esatag has to cancel his plans. You can see he's communicating as well. There is a gap that has to be filled. Hampus already in the apartment.
Yeah, that sends Axel, well, sorry, Shiro back quite quickly with the AWP. Peppered on down to 60 points of health. Cannot reside up and towards the apartments any longer. No banana control just yet for NiP, but it's not being fought for by Cloud9.
Interesting. You can see that they are concerned about the boost. they're coming through, so they're going to take full top mid control. No AWP allowed to be patrolling for answers, so they are in the dark as it stands.
This might come quick. Look at the space they're taking. They're creeping and looking for fights here.
No bomb commitment, but they are poking and prodding.
They're very forward positions. It means that Cloud9 can't really rotate.
And now the line is drawn in the sand. Util sails over. Couple of flashes. The last of them. Just pausing so close. Up in their grill. The B players none the wiser. The A players too. They will be now. Crossfire, flash, good one. Nafany. Whoa! Upon release of his crouch, he's relieved of his life, and that'll do. That'll do, Pig. That's a reference to Babe.
Which most of you who are watching right now were probably not born when that movie came out.
No,
but
still stands up, though.
It's a great film, and that was a great round. The amount of space that NiP were able to take there completely undetected was insane. It just went from 0 to 100. Because if you're Axel in the pit and you're Nafany in the side, you're just sitting there, you know that the territory is given on up, but the only thing you hear is the moto smoke, a flash, and then both of you pop your heads up, and you're dead. The round is already done. You didn't even get an opportunity to be a jarring force whatsoever and slowing down the Swedes, who have just grabbed their 11th round, 5 away from putting himself in that 2-0 column.
Amazing scenes. The flashbang they used on to catch Nafany. I mean, he has 0 time to react. A perfect pop flash. And as long as you've got teammates that are willing to take that space and take that ballsy push, you've got a round very quickly. Really cool way to put a T round on the board. It's going to put us up to, a 3-1 scoreline in the second half. It was 8-7, but NiP, they are within touching distance. If they can break through a fully bought up CT squad here, Shiro's going to be on his AWP.
Shiro needs some help, though. And I mean in terms of just individuals trying to shut it down. Right, I know that Inter's at 10 and Hobbit's on 11. They were both on the other side of the map. Nafany and Axel holding this A side haven't been contributing in buckets and spades just yet. But under control this time. So Hampus, wherever he wants to go, the aggressive in-game leader will take the space, have his teammates try and set him up, and they get to isolate a fight. Exchanging flames here as both are held at bay over towards Banana.
Tempered in their progression. Nade is good onto Brolan. Next step, flash and jiggle. Nothing.
They are being very threatening, though, early.
All the time.
Yeah, like every piece of utility as well is just setting them up to take that next step. And this is to help...
Dreamy.
Yeah, this is to help force Cloud9 into using that util. We know that that's what this is about, right? It's warfare of attrition, making sure that you can force out all of those smoke grenades, and they've done exactly that. That has left Cloud9 in a position to gamble. And they've gambled correctly right now. The AWP here, that nade, destined for success. Chip damage done to 2.
There is nothing left to slow them down but the incendiary of Hobbit. And here they come, a full commit. Shiro, perfect contribution. If he could get anything else done, his team should be set for success. Time, light on. Another contribution from Shiro, and finally Cloud9 are looking to set for a clean one. It's just 2 Swedes remaining, or rather, 1 of each. Is Esatag the exception? Now has to be exceptional. He's got 15 seconds, the poor soul. Hanging out with the fish. He's heard, he's sprayed, he's planting, he's dead. That's the end of my TED talk. 11 though to 9. That's Cloud9 find themselves a convincing defensive round.
Okay, keeping it competitive here. And I said that, Shiro needs some help. Apparently he doesn't. He'll just do it all. Just rotates on over and pips 2 on the way on in. You could see them posturing, hoping for the read peak. And then they waited so long, he didn't peak. And then as soon as they moved on in, he did. So Shiro being quite the force right now, as it is a 2-round game. Enough for a bye here for NiP. It was very tidy in how they took that map control. Now, I guess it can be Hampus' watch, because where he seems to go, the team seems to follow.
Yeah, very, very much one of the in-game leaders to watch in the fragging department.
Looks like they want to go B again here, but this time with less tells. More bodies. Oh!
If Hobbit's getting warmed up, you really should be scared. He gets info, gets away, and surely NiP pull the plug on this. You don't want to full commit into them. Does seem like they do exactly want
Well,
to
I
do
think
that.
they want to get ahead of this Shiro rotation, and because it's so early and the util hasn't been used so quickly, Cloud9 haven't gone for that gamble, and now that it's a 4-on-5, maybe they feel that they don't have to. But unless Shiro and Inters can get a kill or two between them here, this will still be a hard retake.
These flashes aren't going to stop. Hampus has 4. Just going to keep throwing them out. More to come. They're in the open. Inters has to hold on, and has. He gets 2, 3 from Inters. Lordy! And Hampus is his next victim. He's only got 30 HP. He is done for. The rotate wasn't necessary, Chad. He's done it on his own. You said they had to show up, and they have. Oh, and you know that feels good. Cloud9, they can count on Inters. 3 kills on the NiP commit. That's going to have to force them to change their plans. B site is not a gimme.
That was huge as well. You could see the amount of Molotovs used in the site right there. It was just laden with flames. The 2 players, Inters and Hobbit, were touching. They were connected by a rope right here. You can see them bumping into each other and still able to convert 3 massive kills. Huge from Inters. That's what you need from your rock right there. And then the mop and bucket comes out for Nafany. As NiP are left with pebbles and peanuts here as they're just down to these pistols and going fast B. Hobbit's going to have a field day here. 2 for him. And Inters is looking for another 3-piece.
Delicious. Oh, he's done it with the flames instead. So, done the cooking.
Flambéed. Come on, boys, you went fast.
I mean,
what are you stopping for now?
What is there to really get done? Run boost, of course. Yeah, that was what they needed.
Oh, they get another kill out of it.
Another kill.
Yeah, we'll take that.
A rifle and maybe even another kill if he's feeling really brave. Stunt nade does nothing.
Points, though. Of the style variety.
NT in the chat.
All tied up. 11-11. Okay. This game's still got a couple of twists and turns left.
Yeah, NiP are going to be humbled here. It's going to be less than ideal. We're going to be seeing a couple of galols. And, wow, is that really NiP's first timeout? There's another little testament to how the amount of pressure they've been feeling. This is where we start to see the mark of that changing of the tide once again. Cloud9, with funds in the bank, a fully invested defensive side. And, I mean, you know it's serious when Hobbit's not smiling. Got to keep a stone face as he makes sure his troops are prepared.
I'm just taking a quick look at the spawns right now because Shiro's actually been quite active, right? And that's what you want to see from your primary AWPer, especially someone as talented as Shiro. He has a very good spawn to cross mid quickly here for a pick or to jump up swiftly in towards the apartment's position and go quite aggressive. So just curious to see if he wants to take this and try and set the tone into round number 23 here.
You're right, yeah. Well, he hasn't asked for a smoke or a run boost. He's actually just going to do it on his own. What's his plan?
Could just be a peek on the flat. Oh, jump for info. Re-peek off of this. He's likely to know there's no AWP, so this is confident stuff from Shiro here.
Yeah, just going to hold it. I have mid, he says, as one does jump across. Unless he's got eyes in the soles of his feet, will not have that info back. Where did Brolin's health just go? One down the gullet, more nades scooped up.
Again, but last time they full B-exec, it was with like 3 Molotovs. Oh dear, Nafany has so much info. Get a move on right now. Inters can rotate on over. On an island is Hobbit. The fact that Nafany's so far forward, they should be rotating 2 players and swiftly.
They are. There's a barrage
It might be too late.
like already committing in. Rez feels like the site might be...
Gap in the smoke.
Huge gap, but Rez across. Nice find through the smoke. Brolin unable to contribute a thing, but they are in. More info on the gap. They've got so much util for this retake. The bomb now down. A man to the good are Cloud9.
And 2 Banana on the retake right here. They have NiP pinned on in.
Flashing bad. Frag is better. Axel's got away back into through Banana. They're just in pool. Oh, and another smoke frag. Hobbit doesn't need to see anyone. He's already got 2. A third seems likely. They just drop to the Hobbit. And that is another spotless round, a retake on B. And NiP so stubborn on this B site. They will not learn.
That right there, though, I was very, very worried there for the Cloud9 defense because they were out of position. They had 4 over towards A, even with Nafany's forward position in towards the boiler room. It was just Hobbit on the site, but it actually worked out in their favor that they were playing retake on B because it meant they didn't take any casualties. There was forced gaps in the smokes right there because of how flustered it was onto the way into the site, and that caused bigger problems for NiP because every time they've entered B previously, they've been dealing with the deep play from Hobbit, from Inters into the backlines, or Shiro playing coffins with that AWP. This time, a whole different different look. If you can't find the fights, they couldn't get into the site cleanly, they're going to have a hard time of holding on to this one. And consecutive timeouts now called from DJL to try and have a conversation about how they can get themselves back into this game. They don't have enough to go for a full investment as we get the highlights here of how Hobbit is apparently able to track everybody through the smokes. It is going to be a half buy coming out of NiP. Lost bonus maxed on out into the next, so all good as far as the buy department going into round number 25. But what can they make work? What execute? What pocket strat do they have up their sleeves right here? Is there any NiP magic left in the tank? Or is it just the namesake in play?
There's a one-way in play here. Axel's thrown it out. That should cage any progression that Polopsky was considering.
This is very telling of once they get the territory they want, it will be some form of a set piece. Right? They've invested into this utility for a reason. They've got a whole bunch of smokes, a bunch of flashes. Now, if it's progressive, right, they could just work on mid-wall control first, or it could be more explosive. Smoke towards long, trying to draw out some util. It's doing exactly that. Flash top mid, and they will be given control here. So a lot of room garnered for NiP, still with a minute on the clock.
Yeah, and if you really want to run into a four-man stack, it's unenviable. Polopsky could molly Graveyard or Pit. He's the only one that's detached from the pack. Orp fires off a shot. Shiro known. Noted. Smokes in the sky. They are committing here, and Inter's in the power position. They've missed the molly. Oh no, they know where he is at least. Oh, damn, he's down, and only Axel, the one spray, one frag may not be enough. Insufficient, as they do open up. There was a four-man stack on the site, and NiP leave with 3 rifles in a round.
Very unlikely round to see them bounce back in as well, and they just brute force their way in. Just brute force their way in. When Inter's popped up his head, he got noted. And it looked like a flash was getting thrown directly in his direction there, so when he popped up again, they'd already scoured into the site. Axel there with a wild spray, unable to convert anything more than 1 kill, and that's Plopsky's death. That's it. Axel being the A anchor. If I'm DJL, I'm probably changing the dialogue here to try and just condition them, press Shiro back, be very diligent with your flashes in future rounds so that AWP can't be a problem, and then try and go for these short and hauls plays.
I mean, look, the 2 players that have been your biggest problems have both been problems at B.
Exactly.
It's Shiro, it's Hobbit. Both forced to save. I mean, why? It's definitely in your interest to have it less than favorable for them to have impact. Admittedly, you don't know what the reaction might be out of the Cloud9 setup.
But they even had 4 here, Alex.
Let's see how this went so wrong. So Nafli's fully blind, fine. Smokes completely nullifies Shira's contributions. Inters gets run down, and then it was really Axel who couldn't get more than the multi-kill he was required to find. But yeah, the util, I mean, you talk about executes. That was just pistols.
Oof, last timeout called from Cloud9 here as well. So last opportunity that Groove gets to take the sting out of a round loss like that. Now, they did hold on to a couple of guns. There's still residual cash left over for Cloud9 here. It will take 2 consecutive of NiP wiping them out completely. This being one of those 2.
Shiro really does only... Oh, he's got 6k. Okay, he just hasn't bought.
It might be the AWP on the ground as well here. Looks like, yeah, he's got it over towards library to scoop one up. It's just obscured by this banner.
I see, yeah. I see it there. Okay, I was making me weirded out.
But this is the thing, right? So you had 4 at A and you still lose to a Tech 9 round? Like, you almost have to be certain that they'd want to go back towards A again.
No doubt about it. See what the change-up is.
Well, into starting A is a change-up.
And it's all, and Hobbit that's willing to stomach a solo B.
This is the same setup they went for before, where Nafany pushed on in towards the window room and had a lot of info. I don't know if he wants to go for the same type of maneuver, but they don't want to give up the mid control this time. Look at how many forward positions they have on mid right here. AWP on the slither gap, Inter's anti-flash, Nafany on the jiggle, and Axel babysitting halls, who could also contribute to fight top mid. So they don't want to give up that space again, Cloud9.
Might be taken from them. Coming through boiler. Smoke, and it just does not choose to be in front of it.
Yeah, Nafany's also dropped back as well, so it didn't take a lot to get this at least postured mid-control. NiP don't know what lies on the other side, but as Hampus drops out a lurk smoke here, it does really look like they're turning the screws to continue towards A. Very standard util set you're seeing lobbed out here to get this mid-control.
Well, there's one less defender this time.
And they're up.
And they already have a lot of position with plenty more flashbangs and Molotovs. Not a single smoke in play though, so this is going to have to be the gunfight. Oof. Oh, they know that Long is threatened. Brolin not going to be giving that one up. He's continuing to apply pressure there. Just as now, Hamper starts dumping his util as well. Rez up short side. Axile in a bit of a hurt locker here. Shiro hiding in the smoke. Brolin could get caught out here. Barrel sticks out, and problems now. Nafany double, running out of time. 8 seconds, the triple kill out of Nafany. They cannot contest the plant. It will be 2v3. But so much done by Nafany, and only Brolin now. He had a close one before. Could he possibly pull the clutch? An ace clutch, no less, out of the bag. Coming in from every angle, still Pit occupied. Inters alongside his first focus and already chipped away at. That's the end of that. Cloud9 recover, courtesy of Nafany. 3 on their commitment.
He's got 11 kills to his name here, but that is only his second multi-kill in the game so far, and a multi-kill that he had to get right there to shut that one down, because you saw the barrel get spotted on the way through that long side. Shiro just gets absolutely blanked. And Nafany steps on up, mows them down, and grabs Cloud9 their 13th. But this game is back and forth, a tug of war. The plant is great. It gets NiP back into the buys here, but here it is one more time. The in-game leader. 3 huge kills, and he knows how much that one means, getting fired on up. That's his signature right there. And an NiP back into a timeout of their own. While we said it's likely that they continue towards A, they went into a less defended bomb site this time round and were unable to collapse with the rifles in the same way they did with the Tech-9s in the previous. Still plenty of cash. No T-sided AWP being opted for here, and you can understand why. They're operating as quite the unit here, NiP, and it is tidy. But do they want a playmaker now to enter the server and try and find them something early? Because they're getting the space. Do they want to find an opening kill? Do they want to be a bit more aggressive in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, for the last 2 rounds, it's been just Hobbit to B. There's not going to be a lot of util that will stand in your way. I say that as they dispatch 3 off spawn. So if you do try knocking on Banana's door now, there is going to be a lot more than you bargained for. Faking it. Pulls more utility out of the CTs as Rez will mantle up. Typical procedures, announcing an app's presence. 3 of them, in fact, are actually maneuvering. Only Rez the one to make a song and dance about it.
Yeah, this is actually quite conservative stuff from NiP. It's just a default spread in similar fashion as what Cloud9 would do, right? Avoid as much utility damage as possible, and Shiro apparently wants to have a look mid-round. AWP trained, shot taken, aggression noted. And that's going to make them a little bit more skittish as they try and take this mid-control here.
Ooh, and yeah, actually, that incendiary extinguished through the boiler smoke. So a bit unfortunate there.
Knocking on the door of A again, 57 seconds on the clock. Flash forward, mid-control taken, and maybe they want to try and creep up again. We've seen it work once for NiP.
This is dreamy.
This is the same play. This worked for them before.
Yeah, but Nafany's not going to be susceptible to that same flashbang. And now Axile, at any point, can strike Rez long range onto Shiro, so he doesn't go down empty-handed. You do see the nade softening him up. 7 HP, and that is another successful A take from the Ninjas. I mean, I was going to say if it ain't broke, but it was previously. They just come straight back to it.
Yeah, we've seen that round before out of NiP, right, where they're able to snake their way up and be so threatening right there. But that shot over towards Shiro in Library, right, he takes a little bit of flak damage, and then I think that being scared on off, right, he peeks back in and gets absolutely destroyed right there. And in that kind of a passive setup, it's great if they execute. It's not great if they walk on up on you like that, because they can just sit, wait, and isolate the fights. How are you meant to get out of the cold 0 box and the graveyard position? You're very, very locked in on those holds.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cloud9 opt for something more forward.
They have to.
I mean, boost up on quad, have someone anti, someone underneath. Just don't let NiP ever get into that stats, because that just seems like a guarantee. Once they've got that much territory and can just slowly dig their claws deeper into you. This is 13-13. We continue to trade blows back and forth for the last 4.
Brolin has really turned this game around. Now, I know it was the super, super early stages, but you remember, I think it was like 0-5 at one point. He's now topping the scoreboard right here for his squad. 17 kills for him. 13 for Esatag, 12 for Rez, 11 for Plopsky, and 10 for Hampus. So Brolin finding some impact here, the newest addition to the NiP jersey. AWP brought over towards B early here, and maybe the play would be to set Shiro up, post him up with the AWP, and allow the rifles to rotate back on over and try and bolster A. They haven't played too far forward on mid here with this setup, and as we continue to do color by number Counter-Strike, the basics, the defaults, the bread and butter of the high-level play, the boiler and holes control. They can't take this banana push. Maybe a fast flank. Maybe relinquish this long side. They're not really using it. They're not going long whatsoever, right? It's traditionally mainly up this short side.
It would be out of character from Cloud9, though.
Well, the fight's coming again here. Rinse and repeat from NiP.
Yeah, and been nothing to report banana, but safe passage through CT. Falls a little quiet for a moment. 3 CTs maneuvering back to the A site, but here comes the ninjas. Just multiple stages to their take. Axel burnt, hiding in the smoke. Nafany pre-aims perfectly to the drop-off, and he's got Roland in his sights as well. Can't seem to finish him, and it's Hampus that saves him from the heavens, from the top rope. Axel can't find anyone. He's been hiding in plain sight this whole time, and we will find a 2v2. Now the bomb is in pit. You've got 30 seconds, and Hobbit's heading on over. The resmoke should deny any contributions from Hobbit. Inters has short side, though. Had short side. He won't have any options now, so they can leave pit. 15. Apps possible. Hampus, considering his options, will support from pit. It's been very much heard. And on the speed. Oh, he's been spotted out. Oh, a dink exchange. The AK's better. And NiP leave with the 14th.
Wow.
DJL knows how much that one means. He was so close.
What a tight round that one was, especially with the dink coming on through. A risk taken from Hobbit there to push through the smoke and try and catch a bit of a timing. The shot was good, just couldn't connect onto the second bullet necessary to get that kill.
Look at Axel's maneuver. So he actually leaves pit completely, safe and sound, strikes onto S attack. But this second 2v2, oh, dink exchange and res quick onto Inters. So,
they're really negating Axel's position in pit because every time he's dropped that smoke to play around the bike, they've had the perfectly placed Molotov.
This is new.
Well, we saw them do this with the Save Famas and the P250, not with an AWP and an M4.
Could catch the bedroom progressions. Rez has got into the apartments uncontested. I'd argue and wager 7 rounds.
Oh, Nafany's just rotated over towards B here, so they're thinking NiP are going to change their direction. But A, it's a leaky ship right now.
Plopsky, surely you don't get away with that. All apps, they scream as they do start to launch. They know, wait, 2 apps. Oh, it doesn't matter. Axel's got all 3 of them on the cross back in the setup. It works like a dream. Cloud9 with 2-man A hold. Axel awoken. And it's just Plopsky. Good luck, have fun. Nice headshot onto Shiro. Stops it from being a full whitewash. Perfect. 66. And another frag for Plopsky. Surely there's nothing more to be said. The plant will go uncontested.
Another kill would be great here. The cash isn't great over there for Cloud9. If Plopsky can take one more, he's already got the bomb down. This is a very threatening round around the flames here. Oh, the line out.
With a headshot. Yeah, that dip under it. So we recover. And we continue to trade blows.
It's fortunate he didn't get another kill there. They'll scavenge the AWP back. They can drop that over. It's going to be fine regarding the buy, but if Plopsky did any more damage, it would have been some real issues for Cloud9 trying to buy back in. There's only 2 more rounds to play in this half. We either go to overtime or one of these teams is going to be winning 16-14. Now, Axel, I mentioned it previously with Nafany, when he got that multi-kill on the site, it being his second multi-kill of the game. That's Axel's second multi-kill of the game, and he's the A anchor. He has had a really rough go of things. So finally, in the thick of it, not just stuck at pit, not stuck in graveyard, in a more active position and gets 3 huge kills. So great stuff for Axel, coming alive late. It doesn't matter when you get stuck into the game, as long as you get stuck in.
Shiro is trying to stay dynamic. You can see the options constantly shifting.
Do you doubt it if you're NiP though, right? Do you go back to B? You didn't have any success on that side of the map. Why would you change from going towards A? Sure, you got stunted here. But how many times is Axel going to be able to pull off a maneuver like that? You have to ask yourself.
Yeah, but you do want to make sure that Cloud9 are still scared of this. And that flash is a good way to start it. Hobbit's safe from it.
Oh, that's info
Did
on the
Shiro
AWP.
fire a shot?
Yeah, he did. So that's info on the AWP immediately here. Now, the fact that he did fire that shot,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
he's rotating ahead of it here. NiP are trying to get a move on quicker when they've identified that. They're up mid.
Shiro will be there. Lurk smoke drops, so Hampus is really throwing some indicators that this is the commit.
This on the fade.
They'll already be across from Shiro's line of sight. Wow, how does Brolin get that? Just to the leg exposed on the crouch. Nafany and Mini Pit, they're already tightening the noose. Nafany known, deleted. It's Axile in the pit. They know it's Axile. They know he's the pit player, and he only gets the one. Rez still clicking heads. NiP are set for 15, and Hobbit, he's just in this horrible state of panic. It's what do I do? Both of the options suck.
And this is the thing, the buy is going to suck into the next round. So even if he wanted to try and go for some crazy, heroic 1-on-3, he knows that he has to hold on to this M4. It's 1,400, bottom of the barrel loss bonus. That's all that they're going to have coming into the accounts next round. It's going to put Inters in range to get on M4, sure. But the other three of them, it's going to be a little bit rough around the edges here. Going into the final round of the map with a broken CT buy. And every single time NiP have been able to get this mid controlled, they feel threatening. Even in the rounds they haven't been able to convert, they're able to at least turn their attention, turn the screws, make Cloud9 sweat. The passive play from Cloud9 again in pit, in the mini pit, both those positions, they have not been working for Cloud9. They're not getting the level of production out of those positions that they require here. And NiP, they could be the fourth team to join the 2-0 bucket here today. During the likes of Na'Vi, Copenhagen Flames, and Spirit tomorrow to be potentially locking themselves in to the playoffs. Look at this. Famouses, MP9s.
All right, well, if ever there was a time for a hero maneuver, OT required if Cloud9 want to keep themselves undefeated here in Antwerp. A win against outsiders, domestic rivals is nice. But made to sweat now up against the Ninjas. It's a far from idyllic buy. And A has been the answer to a lot of their problems on this T side. Can they really get away with it again? Same flight path, same default, same responsibilities. Brolan might be trying to come and get the B players a little on edge.
Yeah, even just a little bit more of a look in here, right? If he throws anything, if he's slightly suppressing, Hampus is out. Those footsteps are heard from Nafany there.
Oh, confirms there's at least two. One heard out. Rez tagged a little further, down to 37. But they've got their presence in apps. They've got their presence up mid. And they are actually flirting with B. Oh, perfect from Nafany. With an MP9, close range, has taken down Hampus and he's looking for answers. He wants to make sure he has his defensive pieces in the right place. Shiro is heading back to B, maybe.
Oh, I can't see him. He can't see him.
Klopsky will not be considering this, though. His crosshair is bang on the money. He knows where he is. And a free frag, an AK upgrade.
But the gap long.
They are
gonna run
trying
into
to
this.
pluck through it. They're chill for now. It's 20 seconds. OT, 3 frags away, and with these recovered rifles, even more threatening. Back to turn, heads are popped, and now suddenly they're flattened, with plenty of time to plant. NiP, what a recovery. Brolin's gotten away with murder there, 1 HP. He's not playing a headshot angle, it doesn't matter his health if he gets away with that. He's just playing for the round, Yeah, get that smoke out. Esatag even has a molly for short. Get her down. Problems now. Where's the kits? One on Hobbit. Up and over. It's powerful, it's potent, but look how restrained the Ninjas are being. Time is their best friend to finish in regulation. A 3v5, 2 on 2, 1 on 1, 1 HP. And I think they might have time. Pre-fires in, and I think we're done. I think we're done. Ninjas in pajamas pull it. Just about blood, sweat, and tears across the line in regulation. Good grief. A highly competitive affair.
And Threats here with the boys as well. The analyst is here to play. Joins the celebrations. Massive stuff for NiP in the final round, showing Cloud9 how to lock down the A bomb site with a passive hold of their own. Stick to their guns. A 3-on-5 to get it done. 16-14.